folks. It's time to start looking at those 78 questions. And here we'll just look at the first 7, which all have to do with hell and the afterlife. Ready?
Is Anne Frank burning in hell?
Oh, some of you fundy atheists expected a yes, huh? Well, too bad. But the question earned a no because of just one word in there: burning. Your host is asking about a highly literalist experience of hell, which I don't subscribe to. In my view, hell is a state of shame, not a place of fiery torture. Now, I expect you'll ask, what do I think Anne Frank is up to right now? You still think she's in hell even if she's not on fire. Now, fair enough. I'll give you a summary of what I think is happening, based on my studies of honor and shame, and on what little we actually know about Anne Frank and her life. First thing we can say is that in the version of hell I subscribe to, shame is experienced in accordance with how much you have to be ashamed of. In other words, the degree of your sin. Now, based on what little we know, I don't think Anne Frank had too much to be ashamed of. My view of hell also is influenced by something Jesus said here about rewards in heaven. Under an honor and shame rubric, any evil you suffer here is counted against your experience of shame and lessens it. So, all of Anne Frank's suffering at the hands of the Nazis would proportionately lessen the severity of her experience in hell, which would leave her with, what? Well, if I had to guess, I'd say it wouldn't be far off from what some Catholic viewers would describe as limbo. She wouldn't get access to God or be a member of His covenant, but she also wouldn't experience much in the way of shame. I'd say it's probably no worse than living in one of these places. And one other thing which I admit is speculative. I happen to think that part of the eternal punishment given to the Nazis that hurt Anne Frank will be that they have to serve her and do what they can to make her life and eternity more comfortable.
How about Mahatma Gandhi?
Same answer, of course, for the same reason. Gandhi's case is a bit more complex since he was older and a lot more experienced in life, but the same principles apply.
Is Fred Phelps in heaven since he believed in the divinity of Jesus?
I'm not so sure Fred Phelps did have an orthodox Christology. He may have believed Jesus was divine, but that's not the sole criterion. You can believe Jesus is divine, but also believe he was the son of the Norse god Thor. But let's forget the specific example of Phelps and go to the probable point of the question. Suppose we have a bad Christian who does a lot of evil in their life. Do they go to heaven? Well, based on my last 2 answers, you already know that I think heaven is all about honor, not that it's a magic, happy, fun place. So if you have someone who joins the covenant of Christ and then screws up to the max, what is heaven like for them? Let me put it this way, as I like to. The New Jerusalem will probably have a lot of these. Guess who gets to clean them?
Should a killer who genuinely repents at the end of his life go to heaven?
Whenever a person joins the covenant of Christ, we're told that they die. The old man is dead. The person who was that killer is dead, and it's a new person who goes to heaven. That said, their life in heaven will also be of equality according to their deeds after conversion, which won't allow for very much. I have to say, too, that this is kind of funny. If I had answered no to this one, the fundy atheists wouldn't be a lot happier. They'd probably come up with some sass about how an all-powerful God can't find a way to save a killer.
Should a kind-hearted atheist go to hell for all eternity?
Same issues apply here as in questions 1 and 2. If you really are a kind-hearted atheist, well, you can expect to live next door to Anne in one of these.
Do kind-hearted religious people who just aren't Christians also deserve to burn in eternity in hell?
Well, by now you know the false premise. No burning. Otherwise, it's the same as the prior question.
Would you be happy in heaven if someone you love was in hell suffering for all eternity as you watch?
Yeah, look, again. Heaven isn't the magic, happy, fun place. In fact, if you look at Jesus' parables, it's a lot of work. Sure, there's no sadness or tragedy, but that doesn't mean you get to sit around partying. I wouldn't be happy or unhappy about someone being in hell. You may as well be happy or unhappy about the law of gravity. I guess that's a sign we need to go. See you next time.